Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video from your best buddy. Today we're going to be working on this little children's book illustration. uh I'm having gripes with the background again. But I think the main gripe here is that it's just a little bright, you know. It's a little too, what's it called, vibrant. And I think it takes away from the four colors and everything. So we're gonna try to mess with the color levels here. Now I know I noticed that in the previous episodes and stuff you can't see when I open up a window within the GIMP window, and that's my mistake. But what I'm doing is I'm going up to colors, and I'm going to color balance, and I want to try to see if I can kind of desaturate what's going on here a little bit. But I don't exactly know. I don't mess with colors all that often, so I don't exactly know what I'm looking for. So let's see here. Levels, maybe? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm messing with like a shader. Oh no, that's interesting. Huh? Whoa. Yeah, cool. I think what I might have to end up doing is like, no, I can't just do that. Just barely, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. I'll leave it to a future video, maybe, because I don't want to bog myself down immediately right off the bat. So, let's unmerge those layers. And also, I don't know if you can hear this, but there is a bird losing its mind outside. And if you can hear it just freaking out and cawing all the time, I apologize for that as well. But otherwise, you know, enjoy the video. So we're going to be doing a shading. And the way I do that is I just go on my color layer. I click the color I want to just work on, and then I make a new layer. This is going to be called Shade, or rather LD, because I'm going to be doing light and dark. So that's going to be LD. It's going to be on top. And I'm going to eyedrop color, pick that skin tone there, and then just lower it down, because we're going to be doing shadows. And it's going to be great. So let's see here. Yeah, so boop, 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 boop. That didn't work at all, did it? What's going on here? Uh-oh. Am I going to have to troubleshoot again? Every time. Every time. Oh, wait, what the heck? Oh, I know what's the problem. This fly layer is also like a huge everything else layer too. When I move the fly, when I moved the fly in the last episode, I didn't realize that I also like copied everything and forgot to like fix that. So let's just fix that real quick. Erase this so that ink and color are their own layer. And now she's got vitiligo or whatever that skin disease is called. Is that a disease? I'm not sure if that's a disease. It's the what I'm talking about is the it's like this disorder, I suppose, where the skin starts to lose its pigment. So it's more noticeable in people with like darker skin tones and stuff, but anybody can get it. It just makes their skin look like more patchy than it would otherwise look. But I don't think it's like dangerous or anything like that. But I could be wrong. Let me know if you have it, and let me know like how it affects you. I think mostly it's probably just like self-conscious type of thing, because like any kind of like marring or anything on somebody's skin or with their hair or just anything to do with their bodies. People can get very sensitive about that kind of stuff. I'm looking for a good dynamic for my pen, and I'm looking for the shader, and there it is. Oops. And I want to change my brush shape. Look at that. Yeah, now we can shade. All right, so the other episode, colors coming from this direction, right? So that is an arrow, top right to bottom left. That's the light direction. The light source is top right. So shadows need to be darkest on the bottom left. So I'm just gonna do that real quick in a way that doesn't look like trash, hopefully. Oh man. So the way I've been shading this is not anything crazy. I've just been like doing some like spot shading and just trying to give it some more dimensionality, I suppose. I'm not going like crazy with the shading or anything like that. I don't like that. I want to change my dynamics again. That might be a little better for me. Nope, too small. Why is it so small? Alright, maybe this episode's just not going to happen, because I'm having a lot of difficulty right now. It's like, can you see that? It's so small! Look how small my reticle is, but when I lay down and stuff, no matter what size I make it, like I'm trying to make it really big. Oh my god. That's the reality of it, folks. Sometimes you just, when you're trying to do any art, even people who are like miles better than I am, you know, they still have trouble. They still have issues. I guess I'm going to stick with what I've been on. So obviously there's going to be a shadow cast by her little frills there. I've never been good at shading skin. I'm sure I'm missing some sort of like rule of thumb or something that you should be like following no matter what or something like that. But I've never been really good at it. Now we're going to do some highlights on her skin because we're done with shading. That's really all I want to do. Nothing too crazy. She's inside after all, so there's not going to be too much variation of like lights, because the lights are like just going to be normal overhead lights. Oh no, does that look okay? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Maybe it just looks bad because nothing else is shaded, so let's just keep it going. Let's just keep it going. Keep it going. Right on. See, shading is, look how much better it looks when it's not skin. Or like skin type thing. Because like her arm would be casting a shadow on her chest there. Because this doesn't look as bad, right? Like that's better. That's a lot better. And then some lights. Light source. Light source. Yeah, that's good. You always got to keep your light source in mind when you're doing well, lighting. Alright, keep it going though, keep it going. Shading doesn't generally take too long in most cases. Unless you're like so a style I've been very interested in is like comic book style. Like you know, like comic books, Spider-Man, Superman, DC, Marvel, that fun stuff. And that's a comic style that is really defined, I think, by how it's like shaded, right? That might be too much. Like the shading of comic book pictures are very unique looking, at least to me. Oh no, I shaded that bit on the wrong layer. That's okay, we're going with it. I don't feel like redoing it. I won't tell if you don't tell. But I will remember to change layers that time. I figure it out eventually. If you were watching and you're like, "Oh, you idiot! You're doing the wrong layer," yelling at me through the screen. Just so you know, I cannot hear you. But also, I figured it out. Figured it out. No need to worry. All right, we're gonna have some spotlighting of these pearls. Yeah, sure. Sure. Her hair. Coming right up, shading for the hair. I always start with my darks because when I was in school, that's what my professor told me to do. He's like, start with your darkest darks and then you work your way up to the lightest lights. And that we mostly did. I didn't do painting or anything like that. The closest we got to painting was like pastel work and stuff. I don't think we used oils either. I think we just did soft pastels, which is a very hard medium. Very difficult. But so since most of our work was done in like a very grayscale. It was mostly grayscale. At least the first semester was. All of it was like mostly grayscale. Actually, it was just grayscale. Well, not necessarily. I'll go on this next tangent after I finish this first thought, but see, that's a way I've always looked at it since I took that class, though, is that you just kind of go with the darkest darks and then you work your way up to the lightest lights. So that's why I always start with my darks. I don't necessarily have a darkest dark though, because I don't want to get too dark in the comics, or not in the comics, but in the illustration. I don't want the characters to get too dark, because then you might like lose. It might not read very well, and it needs to be read. It needs to read well. But that's how you get an image that looks more three-dimensional, right? So that one of the problems I had when I was in college was that take for instance pencils, right? Using graphite pencils to do your art. So pencils come in a variety of hardnesses and softnesses, and that's what dictates how light or dark the graphite is going to lay down, right? So 2B, which I think stands for like bold, B stands for bold, and H stands for hard. So 2B, I think 2B is, or maybe 2H. One of the twos is like a standard issue, like school pencil, like a yellow pencil. But I'm trying to remember. Let's just say the darkest we went is a 5B, right? Let's just say 5B is how dark is the darkest pencil we were allowed to have when we were doing like the assignments. And then the lightest pencil was 5H. Okay? I don't even know if those pencils exist, but just for the sake of what I'm saying. And so what my problem was, what I always had a problem with was I would always do my darkest darks like a good student. But then I would just go straight to the lightest pencil. So um, I would go from very dark, and then after I got all my darks down to a satisfactory level, I didn't do my middle tones very well. Like I just went straight to the lighter tones, and it everything looked very metallic. So if you can imagine like a piece of metal, look at a reflective piece of metal. It's got very sharp transitional tones, right? So one piece of the metal is going to be like a very, 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 very dark color, or very just black, right? Perceptually black. So one a bit of it's going to look like that, and you're going to perceive it as very dark. But then, like, almost immediately with no gradient, it'll get very bright, right? There's going to be a piece of metal that's very bright, or a piece of that piece of metal that's very bright. So it'll go from a very dark to a very bright to a very dark, and there's not I did that on the wrong layer again. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. I always do. Uh, but yeah, so that's what metal looks like. That's how metal works in light, right? So because of the way I did my art, and the way I was like drawing and stuff, it made my finished pieces look like they were metal, or like metallic looking, because of the way that I was doing the light and dark. I wasn't doing it very well, and you know, it looked metal. So that's something to keep in mind. Oh, jeez. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind while you're like working on your pieces. Try not to ignore the middle tones. You know, middle tones are good, because like even her hair right now, it's looking. I don't know if the middle tones. Am I in the wrong freaking layer again? Whatever. Oh man, the life of a semi-professional. Don't judge me by my work. Judge me by my. Oh no. Judge me by the birds singing. Yeah, they're so loud right now. What are they doing? I don't think there's fledglings right now. Maybe. Maybe there are fledglings. Trying to figure it out. Me too. I'm trying to just figure it out too. We're all in this together. Okay. And also her sandal. Don't forget her sandal. Her pink sandal. Flip floppy flop. The underside is going to be dark because it's the underside and it's facing away from the light source. Oh, and if you are watching me, and if you do happen to be like an art student or something, and first of all, why would you even try to take my advice in anything? But also, listen to your teacher. Like, I'm just regurgitating what my teacher told me, my professor, and it may not necessarily even be correct, because I don't necessarily remember everything he told me. Either of them. Any of them. Like all my. I don't remember. It was a while ago. I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm doing. Shoot, dog. That might be a little much, huh? We'll go with it. Maybe blend that out a little bit. Hey, I just noticed I had a second fly there. What layer are you on, fly? Okay. I need to get rid of you here. Oh, nope. I need to also deselect everything. Okay, so colors by ink by beautiful. Beautiful. But now that it's like a little more shaded and everything, you can kind of see what I was talking about at the beginning, where I was worried about how like desaturated or how saturated the background is, where it does, I think, take away from the subject matter, which is obviously our main character here and what she is doing. I don't want that, so I'm gonna have to figure something out for that. Those birds. There must be like a cat roaming out there or something that they're all freaking out about. Let's get this little light. Teeth. The teeth in her eyes are the same color. I do give my characters that classic cartoon, just light reflection on their eyes. Because it's cute. Because it's cute. There. There. It makes them feel more alive too, you know? Like so look at the dog. Look at the dog's eyes. His eyes look kind of dead, right? Look at this girl's eyes. Look at her eyes. It's a little more alive feeling, I think, if you ask me. But with that being said, let's fix the dog, eh? Remember our light source? Oops. Alright, select none. Don't like it. That might be a little better. Yeah. Look how much a single spotlight. Look how much it does. Like a little goes a long way in that instance. I'm going to go crazy with these birds though. They're just so loud. But anyways, yeah, let's get this dog down here real quick. I do like to, with the dog, I like to like come in with like a finer type of brush and kind of sketch in some like hair doodles, you know, like this, just to make him look a little shaggy, because he is a little shaggy. I want him to feel at least a little bit shaggy, you know. Let's do the same with some lights. Because if there's dark, there's going to be light, right? If there's a piece of dark hair, or so think about it this way rather. And this is how light generally works, right? If there's an object in a piece that you're coloring, if one side of it is dark, the other side is light, right? Or lighter, unless you're in a pitch black thing, but then that's not going to be a very interesting painting or drawing, is it? So if one side is dark, the other side's light. So if you're doing a piece of hair, like on a puppy, and you do some like, I'll show you. So let's get this back here. Select his body again. I'll use his cheek as an example, okay? Like his jaw, his bottom jaw. So if you go dark, start with your darkest darks, you know, and you go in there and make a bunch of like dark furry streaks, you know, like a cartoon. Some dark furries, right? Just like that. Some hairs. Going in there, getting some dark hairs. Those are the shadow that the hair is casting, right? Or the underside of a specific hair, right? Specific piece of hair. So if that exists, then also there needs to be some brighter hairs as well, right? Like on top or nearby, right? So you go in and add some bright hairs there. And that's that, right? You know, I mean, that's just that doesn't look very good. But the concept is there, and also I'm not going to keep this because it's not the style I'm going for. I'm not going crazy with hair. You know, what I've already done is about as much as I'm going to do for some suggestions of hair and stuff like that. Oops. Oh, he's got a little spot here. Don't forget the spot. But yeah, like, but if you really want to learn more about it, consult your local art teacher. Because I am not one of those. No, no. I'm just an idiot who went to art school for like a year and didn't do anything with it. Don't be me. Learn from my mistakes. Like literally, like watch this video and be like, man, what he did there, that looked bad. Well, then don't do it. Don't, if it looks bad, don't do it. It's harder for me to tell because I'm the one actually doing it right now. So I can't necessarily tell what looks bad because like I don't have I'm not able to look at things with hindsight at the moment. I mean, I changed the background. Come on. That's got to mean something. That's got to mean I'm not that stupid. And then you're just yelling at your keyboard, at your computer right now like, "Hey, the background still stinks." Well, geez. Well, gee. Well, gee whiz. If it stinks so bad, then you draw it, punk. Fight me. I'll fight you. You think I'm scared? I'm not. But also, if you are watching this and happen to be like an artist, even if you're not, you know, like, it's like everybody can do art. I believe. Some people are like, no, I can't. I can't even draw a straight line. Well, buddy, lines are very often not straight. Look around you. Where's a straight line? Unless it was like manufactured by a machine. But even then, there's some variation, right? But anyways, like, if you want to like do your own like version of this little cartoon, like, do one. Let me know. My one subscriber. I bet you do art. Why don't you draw this? Send it to me on Twitter. Well, now it just looks like this little girl punched him right in the eyeball. She's not violent. Don't want this guy to look like he's got a black eye. Oh man, what am I doing with my life? All right, here we go. We're getting it. We're getting it. All right, and the fly, and the fly. The fly is... Oh no, I'm not going to be able to do the fly. Shoot! This is going to be difficult. So, the reason the fly is a problem is because the ink and the colors are the same layer on the fly. So, fly LD. Fly light dark. So what we're going to have to do... See, look. So if I try to magic wand select, and so let's say I did that, and then picked a big thing and did that. You see that? It's got that aliasing, or I can never remember what's the alias and what's the anti-alias. I think this is aliasing because like no, I don't know. But you can see like the pixelation around like the dark line. That is because of either the aliasing or anti-aliasing. And so I don't want that because that doesn't look good. So what I'm going to have to do is be very careful and go in there and just be very... I don't even want to have like him selected. Or no, the wing can be selected as long as I don't color it to an extreme. And then I'll just do some quick How do you shade a wing? I also want to do this. Like a fly wing. Like, how do you... Fly wings are like made out of scales, right? So maybe if I applied some jitter, then kind of... And some bright bits here. Light source. Light source. Don't forget your light source. I forgot it for a second. So scales on that end. Oops. But shadow scales on this end. There we go. All right. That's... it's okay. You know what? I'm going to do the same thing on his eyeballs. Because flies have those sectioned eyes. So, but I'm just going to probably just do the lights, really. And I'm going to need to go real small. And the jitter... Maybe more jitter, though. Yeah! No. That's pretty good. So remember what I said. With the dog hair, if there's a shadow, then there's going to be a light part of it too. Well, it's the same vice versa, you know. So if there's a light part, the other side of it is going to be in shadow. So just go ahead and do that. Beautiful. Beautiful. I did that on the wrong layer. Oh, I'm the worst. Whatever. Have you unsubscribed yet? I wouldn't deal with me. But maybe you just love me. If that's the case, why don't you ding that bell? And if you happen to not be subscribed, why don't you go ahead and do that too, huh? Huh? Yeah? You know? For funsies? For frenzies? Please? For the birds? They're crying for you. Oh, dang it. No, we're good. No, we're not. What the heck? Change that color. There we go. There we go. So I think since this color is so dark, the anti-aliasing won't be noticeable. Ooh. There we go. Alright, like, are you even going to notice that detail from this far out? Probably not. Don't forget to save your work. Ooh, that's something I always forget to do. But, something else I did want to do was give a little bit of a motion lines, you know? So for this, I want to use the rub tool, I think. The smudge tool, I guess it's called. So we're going to smudge. I want the flow to be like really high, I think. Am I smudging right now? I am. And I want it to just smudge. Smudge. Why is it not picking that color? What's happening? Am I smudging? Why is it just pink? Oh. Oh, I guess it's the flow changes that. Alright. Might just use a normal... Nope, that doesn't look good. So... Gonna go with a generic pencil here. Flow rate down. Flow rate higher. Flow rate higher. Too high. Also, a little bigger, please. A little bigger, please. Whoosh. 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 Yeah! Just kind of... Yeah, you know what I'm going for? You know what I'm going for. And then with the fly, he gets maybe a little smaller. Buzz buzz, mother effer. Okay. Oh, I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Maybe some of his wings too. What do you think? Whoa. Oh, shoot. I forgot that I needed to be careful with it. Alright, well, I got a plan. So what the plan is that, oops, I want that to be, I'm going to duplicate fly layer. Fly copy is going to be on the bottom, so I can do whatever I want to this layer and still not lose the fly. But I am trying to find out a good I guess kind of. I don't know. We'll roll with it for now. Her hair I don't like. It's always the worst. Oh, I did it on the wrong layer though. I'm so stupid. Ah! Oh man. Ink layer. I'm gonna have to. Oh no, why can't I copy on the ink layer? Why can't I do this? Shoot! Well, the hair is gonna have to be dealt with. Wait. Never mind. I do want to figure out the background though, you know? The colors are a little too bright for my liking. And something I think maybe might take that down is if I just do, if I put like a blind layer on over the background and I pick like just a sepia kind of tone or something. Make it really big so I don't have to go crazy. Yeah, just do that. Just do that. Keep it going. Don't worry. I'm not going to leave it like this. Looks like a freaking baby's diaper got dropped on the screen. And then I take this down a little bit. Kind of desaturates it a little. Maybe it'll look better if it's actually just black or gray. I just don't want it to look like it's dark, you know? Or maybe white would be better. Well, that's where experimentation comes in. That just looks like it's dark. So I think I'm going to stick with the brown. And oops, no, I don't want to be on black. Is this interesting? Just watching me trying to fuddle with the levels and stuff. Whether it is or it isn't, hopefully you'll learn something. But that's going to do it for this episode. I might muck around with this a little more. I also still need to show you how I do like my lettering and stuff like that. It's not that crazy. It'll probably be a short episode. But in the meantime, if you like this video, why don't you hit the like button? And if you haven't subscribed and you made it to the end, why don't you go ahead and subscribe for me too? That'll make me feel real good. That'll do it though. Until next time, I'll see you later.